look, there's something good happening because we have various MMDCEs. So they are supposed to make sure that the directive of a lockdown, etc., and then social distancing is maintained within the lockdown areas on one side, and outside the lockdown areas, make sure social distancing becomes a phenomenon when it comes to interactions and the movement of people. And one person who is an MCE is Mr. Anthony Sam. Mr. Anthony Sam of Sekondi-Takoradi has done something quite novel, if it's not, because he's been able to use social distancing as a phenomenon in markets in Takoradi. And we're going to show you an insight into what he's been able to do. Usually, this is the scene. This is the scene prior to the lockdown. Very congested. And when coronavirus cases and the concern had been raised by government, its assigns, well, we were advised that a lockdown could be possible. The announcement was made for Accra, Tema, and Kumasi and its adjoining areas. Now, outside these areas, we do have communities, cities, and towns. And social distancing was always encouraged. Now, post the period where we were advised for social distancing, this is what has been done in Takoradi. So you go to most markets in Takoradi and the precincts, you will find that traders or those displaying their wares are doing that, but within a certain demarcated area, well demarcated or marked. You could see the lines on the floor. You could also see how they're spaced, just to encourage social distancing. And of course, the encouragement of residents was also that if you want to go to the market, you have to put on mask. And these face masks were supposed to enhance related issues of interactions and social distancing. We've not seen many MMDCEs implement this, but we thought that we would want to touch on this. We think it's a good idea. So we want to interact with the man himself, the Metro boss for Takoradi, and we do have Anthony K. Sam on the line. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, sir.
And it's quite innovative what you've done there, Mr. Sam. How did all this come about? I curiously will have to ask.
Thank you. You know, when the president made the announcement and per the advice of our health directorate, we know very well that social distancing is very important as this epidemic is concerned. So we met the market women and advised them that this is the issue. For us to stay safe, let us practice the social distancing. So we took about a week educating them. Then thereafter, we implemented. So we took some of the traders selling around the market sector, and we sent them to Dublin Park, where we had all this education and the rest. So every trader had a space to herself, and the roads and the rest were well. So if we are going to buy, you easily enter there, do what you want to do, then get that safely.
Now, since you are the MC, it means that you have a lot of powers, so it makes it easy. So it means that you did consultation and what? What really did you do before the whole implementation process started?
Before, we met with the PEDSEC, and we explained to them how we are going to face this pandemic. So the ideas came up, and we put some on the routes. We started following the plan. Then we saw that social distancing was very, very important. So we started with our NCC going around educating the people in the market, the information ban going around, the media around. We held the press and we asked them to help us to educate the general public. So thereafter, we put the media together and we started doing. So all the market women, the market, they all bought into the stakeholder idea that these people have to move there for us to obey social distance.
Now, we do know that sometimes policies, especially in bigger cities, if they have to start off, become slow. How did this one go?
Normally is the case, but like I said, the moment that the president came out with the permission, we quickly brought together the message, the management of STM, with permission from the regional minister and the health department. Then we started to roll these measures. And later we brought in the market and the rest. And you know, education is paramount. So we started educating the general public.
Okay. And so far, what has been the cooperation of residents? How have they patronized these centers that you have?
Oh, fantastic. They have been enjoying it because where they are there, where they are now, is temporary. So they have moved there and it's very special. When you drive in at your work, you park at a special area, go in, you buy without touching anybody. And people are very happy. So people are very, very comfortable. And we thank the good people of Sekondi for adhering to this practice. If you keep on doing this going forward, the lockdown will not affect us.
And so you just let them go through, they just come in as quickly as possible, or you tend to let them wait a bit? I'm asking this question because when you go to, let's say, the malls, and I'm sure it's also been experimented in the main mall that you have in your metropolitan area, they make customers wait. How is this done?
It's true, we have been doing that. We've educated the operators of the supermarkets at the post, the number of people that should enter at the time. So if the people are up to them, they make the rest stay behind. And our monitoring team is up and doing 24/7. They are always up. So if you don't want to, they will bring you online.
There's a bigger issue of how you will make sure people follow through, knowing that once they have seen this as the phenomenon, then they're going to troop into the markets like it was the usual time or in droves. So is this something that the administration is very wary of, and how are you making sure that you combine the education with it?
Yes, like I said, we are monitoring. So every now and then we are part of them. See what is happening. If there's a problem, we keep being identified. And the leadership of the markets are in constant engagement with them. And we have the mobile vans and the announcement reminding them, especially telling them the effect of their social gathering. If you don't, better make the rest. So we are always moving on for that.
What about smaller markets in other adjoining communities that are just within your jurisdiction? What do you do? Let's say if there's no space or you haven't started yet, when do you intend to do with that?
We started all en bloc. You know, we have another big market, Sekondi. And Sekondi on Tuesday started the market. So we have a football field by Ipas just across the bridge. So we have moved a section of the traders to Ekwase Park. And we have done the social for them. And they are gladly enjoying it. We have the same thing at Kujukrom. It's a fast-growing area. So we know that don't cash in on the fun ones. So there's a park at the, schools are on break and those social gatherings. So we have the advantage of using such areas. So they are making the block breaking. When they bring the goods from farm gates, they have to break it into smaller units. So the traders go there to buy the camp. So some even stay there and do their stuff. So they are doing the social distance there as well. You go to Cancerodo, you've done the same. You go to Sofochrome, you've done the same thing. So we have not left smaller markets out.
Very commendable. Now, on a related issue, this time not on markets, but having holding areas or holding centers or for quarantine purposes, places where people could be kept and be monitored, etc. And this is directly related to health. I'm asking this question because of the agitations of residents of the Afutu area and then also of Cape Coast. How is that situation in your area? What policy have you taken or decision have you taken on that?
Thank you. The directives from the regional administration, we are asked to look for hotel and quarantine. And per the directive from the Ministry of Health, we have to look for some schools around which quarantine. And we have done that with the assistance of the Ministry of Health or the Metro Directorate of Health. We have done all these things and they have them ready. So anytime this thing happens, people could easily be quarantined.
The reports from the two areas that are cited earlier is that there were no prior consultations with other occupants or perhaps even residents that are joining these schools or these areas that you have identified. Have you done yours in such a way that there will not be any agitations?
Yes. The issue is that we have the Metro Director of Education, Metro Director. The first day the directive came, you could remember it was Friday night. So early Saturday morning at 9 o'clock, we all met at the administration and took it. So they helped us to identify it.
Well, thank you very much. We have to let you go. Commendable work you've done so far with the spacing out or the layout of the markets at spaces or in places you think are free for this exercise. And we hope that all of us will cooperate in that manner, and others within the MMDC sector or the local government structure will also learn from you. And we've been speaking to the Metropolitan Chief Executive for Sekondi-Takoradi, Anthony K. Sam, helping us with that discussion as well. And well, that'll be it for now.